Hello, good evening. It is 8 o'clock. Sorry I'm shaking. Hold on, I'm settling. Hello, hello, hello. I'm gonna give it 1 literal minute and then I'm gonna start because I am not a waiter. I don't wait. Ever. I like people to be prompt. So I try to be prompt. Which is why I didn't take the time to fix my hair. You see that? Sorry. I didn't. Ningxia? Because my mom has taught us all that we need this fancy glass. So first of all, if you don't know, my name is Stacy Anderson, and I am Denise's second oldest daughter. So I have one older sister, and then all the others are under me. And my mom has taught us all that we should be drinking our Ningxia out of fancy glasses, including my 2-year-old son, who, and I don't know what it is, but she has these really tiny, maybe 2 or 3 inch tall, looks like a tiny little wine glass, but they're red and they have little jewels on them and they look just like something my mom would like. She keeps them in her Ningxia cabinet, and one time she told Josiah that he needed this fancy glass for his Ningxia, which he calls juice. For your juice! You need this for your juice! So now every time that he has juice, he wants a fancy glass, which is terrifying because he's 2. And he sits there with his wine goblet of Ningxia, and I sit there going, oh, Lord, please let most of it go in his mouth. And if he drops it, please just let it fall all the way to the ground so he doesn't get hurt. That's my 2-year-old having Ningxia, thanks to my mom. So, I have my Ningxia in a fancy glass also, because I'm a grown-up, and I'm not afraid of dropping and breaking. Spilling, maybe, but, you know, it's not quite so serious as my 2-year-old with his juice. So that was your 1 minute. If you didn't already get on, you're going to be late. Hurry, hurry, hurry. We're going to get started. As I said before, my name is Stacy Anderson. I am Denise's second daughter. I am an executive currently on my way to Royal Crown Diamond. I live in my mom's basement, which is another way. Young Living has just blessed our family so much, and my mom has blessed our family so much. But my parents bought their new house in September, I think, of last year. And that was just in time for us to decide that we were going to change jobs and move and sell our house. And so we have been staying here with my parents, waiting for our house in Canton to sell, and then we're going to buy a new house. And that has been such a blessing to our family to not have to support 2 mortgages for, it took 5 full months to close on our house there. So that's 5 months that we would have been carrying double mortgages, double bills, and gosh, I don't even know if we could have, let alone that would have definitely stressed our family. So, my parents bought their big new house and we moved right in with them into the basement, which is where we are currently, in the basement. Not for long, because we just closed on our house. We're moving on up and out quickly because my mom wants her basement back so that she can start hosting lots of classes and parties, and everybody wants to come and swim in the pool, and we're here taking up all the space. So that's me. That's us. That's why I'm here. This is my mom's basement. I booted my family upstairs so it would be quieter. And my mom got pulled out tonight. I was supposed to post ahead of time. Sorry. Did I mention that I'm selling my house and trying to buy a new house? It's really busy. And some things get forgotten. Sorry. So I'm sorry. I apologize. But I'm here. And Denise is going to reschedule the Zoom that she had scheduled for tonight. She's going to do it at a later date. I don't know what that date is yet, but I'm sure she'll post about it. So that's all the catch-up, introduction. Here we are. Mindset. Okay, so I'm supposed to talk about mindset, and I am kind of the person to talk about this because I have been very stubborn in mindset, not in a great way, and have had to learn some hard, long, repeated lessons about it. And it's so important. It's something that just has become so important to me, especially as we're raising kids now. We have 2 little ones, 2 and under, and I want them to start out differently than the way I started myself as a young adult and growing older. I don't want them to start where I started. I want them to start better. So it's been really important to me learning these types of things and educating myself and working on myself as an improvement for myself, but for my whole entire family. So when I really started focusing on mindset and the power that it has over your life and your outlook and the power that your words have, and for out of a man's heart he speaks. So you're speaking what's in your heart and in your mind, and you can change that. You have control over what you say and what you think. And this was like a big one for me. And the experience that I had that really, really started with me learning all this was in relation to birth trauma. My older son, he's 2. My little ones are little. Hi, Tammy. When my son was born, we had an extremely traumatic birth experience in a hospital, and the recovery from that was extensive. And I chose, after a number of months, I chose to see someone that my mom recommended who did some cranial work and used oils. She used Young Living. And when I went to her, I was still very much grieving what had happened. I was still very much living in fear, deeply rooted, suffocating fear. I couldn't leave the house. I was afraid that everyone was out to get me and was going to think I was a bad parent, and if I went to Target and my son cried, somebody might call CPS on me because I was a bad mom, because that was what I was taking in to myself. So I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. I wasn't happy, even though I should have been happy. I've been trying for 4 years to have a baby, and here I had this baby, and he was beautiful and healthy and happy, and why wasn't I happy? So my mom had been there for the birth experience, and she recommended that I see this person, and I really thought it was stupid. I was using oils somewhat, but not seriously. So I went to see this person. Her name was Elizabeth, and she let me use her Melissa, you guys, which was like a lot. She's like, oh, some drops. She brought out all these oils, and she's like, why don't you smell them and pick one? And I picked Melissa, and I was like, ooh. Even I knew that was a lot. She's like, oh, go ahead. Which is just another thing about mindset and how you're sharing, right? Are you sharing openly, willingly? This person did not know me, and she did not charge me to use her oils, and she didn't make any money back off of me, and I wasn't a part of her downline, so I didn't benefit her. in any way, but she saw that I was hurting, and she shared with me what she had. So I used her Melissa, and we started talking, and she was doing some cranial work, and she pointed. Now, this was so extreme that I would not let my son out of my sight. So when I went to have this done, I made my husband also come and hold my son in the room with me. Not even down the hall, waiting in a separate room. He sat in the room and held him. And just I was sleeping. And the woman pointed out to me that he was sleeping, and very peacefully. Like, his whole body was, we call it limp noodle, just totally 100%. He had let go and was just slumped sleeping. So she asked me, "What do you say to him?" And that was all she said, and I knew immediately what she was asking, because instinctively, immediately after his birth, I took him home, and I would sit and hold him in the chair for hours and hours on end, and I would tell him anything I could think to tell him that was good. And I would tell him how much we loved him, how much we wanted him, that what had happened to us was over, that it was never going to happen again, that he was safe, that our home was a safe place. Everything that we had been through was over. Everything was going to be good. We were always going to take care of him, always going to protect him. He would always be safe, and all these types of things is just what I would say to him. Just anything good that came into my mind, I said it to him over and over and over. Daddy and I love you so much. We've prayed for you for so long, and you're safe, you're safe, you're safe, you're safe, you're safe. That's what I would say to him. And she said, he believes you, right? Look at his body language, and if he was still holding on to the trauma that he experienced, that you experienced together, because we experienced the same event, if he did not believe you, he would not be sleeping like that. His body would be holding tension. He would be exhibiting what his heart and mind was saying. But he believes you. He hears your words, and he's taken them in, and he's let it go. And it doesn't mean that what happened to him and to you is okay. It doesn't mean that it should have happened or anything like that. It just means he released it. And she asked then, "What do you tell yourself?" And again, I knew immediately, and I could not even say it to her. I just stared at her. And she didn't push it, but I knew, and she knew, what I said to myself was, "It's your fault. You're a failure. You failed him. You failed yourself. You failed your husband, your mom. You were supposed to be the barrier. You let them in. You let these things happen. It's your fault that they happen. He was hurt because of you." And more. And more. And as I sat there thinking about it and looking at him and using the Melissa, she kept prompting me, keep breathing it. I had put it on my hands, and she's like, just keep. So I kept breathing it. I thought, this lady is kooky. But I kept doing it because, I paid for an hour of cranial work, so I guess I should follow her prompts. Was really my thought. And so I did. So I kept breathing it and listening to her, and I was looking at him and thinking about it. And I thought, well, my gosh, she could be right. I could be wrong. It's okay to admit when you're wrong or need to learn something new. And what happened happened. I can't take it back. I can't go back and change what happened. But I can decide what to do with it. I can decide how my life is going to be moving forward. And I could live every day in this deep-seated fear and trauma over what happened to me. Or I could believe the truth that I have spoken and created for my son, and I could let it go too. I could be happy too. Right? So it wasn't like snap, snap overnight and I'm super better and feeling great and I'm such a happy person now and everything is awesome. But I became so aware of it. I became so conscious of my thoughts and what I was saying and telling myself, and I didn't usually speak those because I didn't want anybody else to hear it, but I was repeating it for myself continuously over and over and over and over. So I started to become really aware of that, and I started to change it. And I would tell myself, it started small with, you're okay, you're safe too. And grew to become, not only are you okay, you're amazing. Look at what happened, and you're stronger, you're better, you're wiser, you're more equipped to comfort others, to guide yourself in the future, to change your life. And it was amazing. My whole life started to change. And nothing actually changed in terms of that suddenly I no longer had difficult circumstances, My life didn't have any more stress. Nothing bad ever happened to me. No. We all still have things that happen. That happened, that will happen. But how I handled them started to change. And the more it changed, the more I wanted it to change. And it was like a snowball that picked up pace and increased in speed and size. The more I learned, the more I wanted to learn, so the more I did learn. And it took over every aspect of our life. And I realized that I was setting, as the woman, as the wife and mother, and definitely the most dominant personality in our family, I was setting the whole tone for our whole family. And so I can either set my mindset to joy and positivity and abundance and life and color and brightness and thankfulness and gratitude. I can set my mindset to all of these things and point my family in that direction. Or I can keep my mindset where it is, just waiting for the other shoe to drop and the next bad thing, and live my whole life that way. And teach my children to live their lives that way. And for what? Yeah, bad things happen. And then they're over. And you keep going. And then good things happen. And if you've ever listened to Darren Hardy, my mom talks about him a lot, and I love him. You can sign up for his Darren Daily and get the little short email once a day that comes with some type of motivational or self-improvement message. And it's always like 5 minutes or less. It's either a video or a link or something, and he's great. But he talks about get back up, faster every time. So it's not that life doesn't knock you down anymore, but you train yourself, get back up, and it almost becomes a game or a competition to see if you can beat your last time by getting up faster. Just get up and keep going. Rebound from whatever happened and keep going. And as I started to think about that and implement that in my life, it just kept changing. And as I started looking for good things to happen and looking for good in people, looking for kindness and friendship and relatability instead of the things that you don't like in people, personality differences or what have you. As you're looking for good things to happen, they start happening. You attract it into your life. I have a friend who is not so much a friend anymore because she has alienated everyone in her life with constant negativity. And everything that she says, everything that she posts, everything she thinks and believes is that everyone is out to get her. Nothing is ever going to go right. There's never enough money. My family's always sick. All of these things. And it's only grown. And I know her from a mom group that one by one, everyone has had to pull back because it's so much. And everyone recognizes that they don't want that in their lives. You want positivity, you want encouraging people. You don't always want to talk to somebody who everything they have to say is a complaint and a whine and a poor me, poor me. Ugh. So as I started to shift my mindset and change my mindset, I started to attract better friends. I have made so many friends in the last 2 years. I have probably made more friends, good friends, in the last 2 to 3 years than in my entire life. I have gotten so good at making friends, and the people that I attract into my life are good people. And when you're looking for that in people, you're finding it. I didn't know anybody here for buying a house, whatever, and I saw a friend posted, hey, my neighbor is just getting started as a realtor, and he's a cool guy. And so I messaged his wife, says this, is this guy a creep? And she wrote back, she's like, no, we really do like him. He's our neighbor, blah, 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 blah. And he has been the greatest, you guys. I have had the best experience with him buying a house here. The best. He has been so respectful of boundaries with my kids, so interactive with them, has just helped all along the way, and it's been a completely different experience than what we had the first time we bought a house. And it's everywhere. I started to attract business-minded people to our business. It went from, I'm trying to share oils, but nobody wants them, because I had this poverty mindset of oils are so expensive and nobody's going to want these oils. They cost so much money. So that's who I was attracting. That's who I was talking to and interacting with, and that's what I was projecting. You're not going to want these oils because they're so expensive, You want this kit, but oh my gosh, the kit is $160, And then they're all like, oh, whoa, yeah. No thanks, $160, I'll just go buy a peppermint or a lavender off my friend, No thanks. And as I reframed how I said that, oh my gosh, you guys, you can get this kit? Do you understand this kit is more than half off? They discount this kit so much because Young Living loves us, and they want to start us out with this great foundation for a lifestyle. It's not the pill for every ill mentality. Young Living wants you to have the best and to have an arsenal when you first start out of different things that you can experience and use for your family. And they discount it so much. It is crazy, a crazy good deal that you can get this awesome diffuser, and you can get a super fancy one. You can get one that runs so long and continuously and is affordable enough that you could get several and have one in your bedroom and one in your kitchen and one in your family room. And it's this amazing deal. And you don't just get that. You get the diffuser, you get all these oils, and the best oils. You get frankincense in your kit and Panaway. Do you understand the value of frankincense and Panaway? And you get that in your kit for only $160. You get Ningxia in your kit. Being able to experience Ningxia without the upfront price commitment is huge. And do you know some people don't even know? They don't even know the value they have in the Ningxia. First of all, they may not see it because they don't know that it's in the underneath. You got to tell them. You got to show them and tell them to lift out that thing with the oils because the Stress Away is underneath and the Ningxia is underneath. And it's such a great value. They can see it and experience it and then hunt down the benefits and understand why they need to order it on their ER every month for their family. Like, it's such a huge value, and you want to help people. And the best way to help them is help them maximize their money, maximize their dollar. You don't want them to be spending 24% more as a retail customer because that's not the best value for their money. They're spending more money to get less. You want them to spend less money and get more and have more for their family. And as I changed around how I presented that from, oh, you gotta buy this expensive kit, to, oh my gosh, you guys, you're not gonna believe the steal that this kit is. And then when they offer a freebie, like, it's already so discounted. And then this month you can also get a tangerine and a big one. And tangerine is one of my favorites. It totally changed. And suddenly I was interacting with all these people who were like, yeah, I need that. I've been looking for oils. I've been looking for natural products, and I want this healthy lifestyle that, you know, Young Living is not just oils. It's not just let me sell you some oils and then peace out, see you later. It's a family. It's support. You're going to have friends. Upline, downline, crossline. You're going to make so many friends. When you go to Young Living events, it's so much the best because all the people there are of the same mindset. They're of this mindset where they're looking for wellness, purpose, and abundance for their families and their friends and their extended families, and they're all after that together. So when you go to Young Living events, you're surrounded by all these like-minded people, whether it's a class that you go to at your best friend's house that has 3 ladies, and the 3 of you are just sitting around and sharing your experiences. This is what happened to me this week, and this is how I used my oils, and well, I tried this new supplement, you know, Master Formula has been great for me and my energy. Oh, okay, then I'll try that. Whether it's those 3 people that you're interacting with or going to convention where you're surrounded by thousands and thousands of people who are just wanting to love people. And they really do. And you see it. You feel it. You know it. Guys, I went to convention last year. I was 9 months pregnant. I was carrying my 18-month-old toddler who was still nursing. It was so exhausting. But do you know that everywhere I went, I was so tired. Guys, I was so tired. But everywhere I went, and I do mean everywhere, including the bathroom, there were people who were like, you're doing it. Do you know that some people just said that to me as I walked by? They would look at me and smile and say, I know you're tired, but you're doing it. Look how great it is for your family. You're doing it. Just that. Where else are you going to go and experience that? Where else are you going to go and have a bunch of strangers, so many strangers stop to help you that there are too many people helping you. They can't all help you because it's too many people, and they're like, let us help you carry your stroller up and down these concrete steps, and let us help you lift that stuff in and out. And oh my gosh, you have to go to the bathroom. The line is 20 people long. Look how pregnant you are, girl. Just go all the way to the front. Do you know how many times that happened to me? How many other places do you go where the line is so long and everybody wants to get back? You want to get back to the lessons, you want to get back to the lunch line because it's super long, or back to your hotel room to get ready for the next thing. Like, everybody is the same busy, but they're looking out for each other. And strangers that aren't on their team, aren't in their group, they're never going to see you again. Like, I'm never going to see those people again. And they're like, oh, honey, you must have to pee so bad. Just go. Just go. At the farm, the line to get in to see the distillery was hundreds of people long on the day that we went, and it was outside. The line was outside in the sun. And I just looked at it and I was like, I can't. My sister was with me, my brother's wife, and I said, Kara, I can't stand in that line for, an hour in the sun. I'm not going to get to see it. And she said, well, let's just go ask. I'm going to go up to the front and I'm going to ask somebody how long they waited. Because maybe it's moving faster than what we think. So I waited for her, and she went up to the front of the line, and she came back and she said, you're not going to believe this, but everybody up there is saying, just go. Just go. They said, both of us. They said, go back and get her. She's like, all I said was, my sister's here and she's so pregnant, we can't stand for forever. How long was the line? And they're like, it doesn't matter. Just bring her. Just bring her. And I cried the whole way. I'm about to cry now. I'm getting it together. We walked right up to the front of the line and right into the distillery. I walked past hundreds of people, obviously cutting the line, and not a single person looked at me funny. Not a single person had anything negative to say. Not a single person interfered. They're all just, yeah. And when I got to the front of the line, they all started offering me water. Are you drinking? Are you drinking? Do you need some water? I have some water. Do you have some? Do you need to sit down? You might want to sit down. That's Young Living. That's where you want to be. Where there are so many people with that mindset for themselves, for their families, for their businesses. And it just spills over into everything. And maybe you're not a business builder right now, and that's fine. I wasn't a business builder for a long time. I was a no to oils at all for a long time. Everybody has their own timeline, their own path. That's fine. I'm not criticizing anyone. But even if you're not building a business, you're doing something else. You have your own family, whatever that looks like, whether it's with or without a spouse, or with or without children, with or without a big extended family, however that looks for you. Everyone has loved ones. Everyone has friends. Everyone has a job, whether it's Young Living or something else. We all have hobbies and church groups and exercise groups, mom groups, Bible study groups, ladies groups, men's groups, whatever. We all have all these other things that all can be affected by your mindset and what you're speaking and what you're saying. And it's just changed our entire family dynamic. When we speak to our children, we are very aware of the way that we speak to them. And even, yes, my kids do stuff, they're not perfect, but I am so aware of the power of my words, and that they are shaping and creating my son's mindset, how he thinks about me, how he thinks about himself, how he thinks about the world and what is or isn't, what should or shouldn't be. The way that I speak to him is forming that and molding that. And so when he does stuff, you know, we don't say, you're a bad kid and all you do is bad stuff and whatever else. You made a mistake. Let's start over. Let's make amends, you know, fix what we can. Let's fix it if we can and keep going. And so we always, when we're talking to our children, and it can feel a little funny at first, if you're doing it not just to your own children. That feels a little safer maybe than saying it to friends or older relationships, you know, adult relationships. But I have just spilled it over into everything. When you notice good things about people or talents or creativities or just whatever, share that with them. You know, speaking that it has an effect on you and your life, and it has such an effect on them and their life. And don't you want to be that person who is speaking wellness, purpose, and abundance over everyone in your life? And some people don't respond to it, you know, super enthusiastically. I've given some comments and compliments to my teenage siblings that they are taken aback and just kind of, oh, there's Stacy. She's the feelings one, always talking about her feelings. And they don't really say much, you know, they go, okay, and keep going, but I don't care. I don't care. I know it matters to them, even if they don't respond in kind, and even if they don't say, oh, thank you, your words of affirmation, they just touched my heart. Like, no, my 16-year-old brother is not going to say that to me. But he's going to think about what I said. He's going to think about, oh yeah, I am a role model to my nephew. He does love me, and I do have influence, and I want to use it for good. I do believe that he is taking that in, even if he's not, oh, Stacy, I love you too so much. And it can be a little weird with friends too. Personally, for me, it's really kind of not, because I am a feelings person. I've always been that way. I'm a hugger and a talker, and I'll just tell you I love you, and I really do. I don't say anything that I don't mean. I just don't. And that can be surprising for people, and it can be different, but don't you want to be that different? Don't you want to be that person that everybody's like, gosh, I just want to be with her. I just want to be around her. If she goes to the party, I want to go too, because she is always laughing, and she is always smiling, and she always has something nice to say. She's always ready to help. You know, it's just a joy to be with her. And when I leave her presence, it's not, oh, you know, she's not that person, oh, it's Monday, and it's raining, and it's cold, or it's too hot. You know, we go straight from it's too cold and rainy to it's too hot and sweaty. You know, you don't want to be that person. You want to be that person that everybody leaves your presence with a little bit of your joy, and they're going to multiply it. They're going to use it to spark their own joy and to grow it and take it home or take it to work or school or wherever they're going and spread some more joy. And it truly, like, there is such a difference in our family and the way that we interact, the way that we talk to each other has changed so much in the last 2 years, and I love it. I love it. And we use oils for that, definitely. we are using a lot of stress away, peace and calming, valor, release, into the future. Anything about feelings, we're using it. Definitely, we are using oils for those things too, but we are also working on ourselves, and they go hand in hand, right? They work together. If you are using all the joy in your bottle, if you got the 15 ml of joy and you take the stopper off and dump it all over your head and you're still walking around going, oh, my clothes don't fit, my house is so dirty, my friends are lame, they don't have time to hang out with me, and then you're still going to be that way. You're still going to be that way. So they go together, hand in hand. You know, when I need joy, or my kids, sometimes I feel like my kids need joy more than I do. I am a happy person. I got some cranky kids sometimes, okay? They're real moody. So put some joy on them, and if we're not feeling joyful, we like to accompany it with a prayer. And it's not always really, you know, super eloquent and all these adjectives and flowing things. Just real simple, you know. Give us some more joy. We want your peace. Help us to share joy with whoever we're interacting with today. We want to share joy and love and kindness and compassion, not crankiness. And that's what we do. And for my kids, it's a lot of peace and calming. I was very happy for the promo in March where you could get 3. I bought all 3. And we've been using a lot lately. And saying a lot of prayers. And, you know, there has been a lot of stress in our lives. I turned 30 living in my parents' basement, guys. It wasn't my favorite. My husband's job was different than what they said it would be, and he works a lot, and that's a bummer. The house that I fell in love with, put an offer on, and we put nearly $1,000 into appraisals and testing, you know, radon testing, termite testing, house inspection, all of those things. It came up short, and the guy wouldn't deal, and it all fell apart. And I lost my house that I loved. It's okay. Find another house. Can get another job. I'll have another birthday. It'll be alright. You know, it's just what it is. You want to enjoy your whole life. Your whole life. Not just the good days. You want to enjoy your whole entire life because it's all you get. It's just that one. So I would challenge you to reframe your thinking, reframe your speech as you hear yourself starting to say, that oil is too expensive. No. Change it to, this oil is so valuable. This frankincense, this Panaway, this Melissa, this rose is so valuable. And my family, my loved ones, my friends, myself, whoever, is worth that much value. You can find a way to make it happen. Maybe you can't make everything happen instantly, but you can make it a priority and say, I am moving towards this. Okay? Maybe you're not a super fast growing silver, gold, platinum, almost going to be a diamond business builder, leader right now. Start speaking it. I am an executive on my way to Royal Crown Diamond. Nothing, nothing, nothing can stop me. Nothing is going to stand in my way. I am going to change my family's future, and I intend to help change anyone else's future who's going to join with me. I want everyone in my life that I know to know about this opportunity and to know that they have the choice to change their whole life and their whole future. Start speaking it. Start speaking it. Don't just say, oh, it's so hard for me to sign people. Don't say that. I am a person who can share oils enthusiastically and abundantly. I am a person who can sign up a lot of people. Do you know that Kari Friedman, her second month as a Young Living member, her check was nearly $2,000 because she signed up, 40 people to her front line? If she can do it, you can do it. If she can do it, I can do it. Anyone can do it. And start saying it. I am a person who signs up a lot of people. I am a person who teaches a lot of classes. I am a person who shares a lot of oils. I am a good mom. I am the best mom for my kids. I am the mom that God chose to raise these babies. I am the best for them. I am God's best for my family. Speak that truth over yourself. Whatever it is, everyone has a different situation. Every situation is valid and has its own ups and downs, ins and outs, intricacies, all of that. But sit down, write down your goals, write down what's important to you, write down where you want to go in your life, and start speaking it. Start speaking it over your life, into your life, all the time. And change your life. You can change your whole life. Nothing can stop you but yourself. I have no idea what time it is. I was supposed to go for an hour. I just go till I'm done. I'm a winger, I wing everything. I'm just winging it. I don't have any notes or anything. Just sharing from the heart. And I'm done sharing. That was everything that I needed to communicate. So it is what it is. I do apologize for the miscommunications. And like I said, Denise is going to reschedule the Zoom for a later date. I'm sure she'll post when it is in the group so everyone can see that and sign up for that and catch that another time. But that's it for tonight. Have a great night and a great rest of your week. Bye.